Hi, my name is Auratola, and I will explain about DDT and malaria. About 1,700 cases of malaria are diagnosed in the United States each year. The vast majority of cases in the United States are from travelers and immigrants coming from countries where malaria transmission occurs. So, what is malaria? Malaria is a serious and sometimes fatal disease caused by a parasite that commonly infects certain types of mosquito, which feeds on humans. People who get malaria are typically very sick with high fevers, chills, chicken chills, and flu-like illness. Malaria also occurs in poor tropical and subtropical areas of the world. Although malaria can be a deadly disease, illness and death from malaria can usually be prevented. So what is DDT? DDT is an insecticide used in agriculture. When DDT was invented, it was hailed as a miracle cure. In 1948, the Swedish chemist Paul Muller received a Nobel Prize for inventing it, the first pesticide that kills insects in a big way. When DDT was banned, this was in 1972, and this is because Rachel Carson was a public health professional, and she wrote a book called Silent Spring. And she started the awareness of the environmental problems with toxic chemicals like DDT. So, should DDT be banned? Yes. Here is some of the reasons. DDT killed birds, small insects, and body lice. DDT is also present in vegetables, meat, fish, dairy products, and this is how eventually it gets to our table. So, how toxic is DDT? DDT is very toxic to humans. It can cause cancer and can cause birth defect in offsprings. DDT is also applied in pesticide, fog, spray, powder, mosquitoes' net, suck in DDT. Personally, I feel that this is a more responsible and safe way to use DDT, but sadly, companies care more about spreading DDT in huge amounts. They don't care about all the work that is come to provide like small amounts of DDT, which make it safer to apply it in certain areas, but small areas, not big areas like farmers' plantation, which it can get into our food and kill more animals that is intended to be. So mosquitoes have already evolved, and DDT is no longer that effective, sadly. But there are so many other ways that we can prevent mosquito and then prevent malaria. In conclusion, I myself come from a developing country named Nicaragua, and I know the government will make healthcare more affordable, more accessible, but that's only the good thing. But then when you get treated, you realize that is a poor healthcare, and when people are desperate, like they're sick, they don't get the treatment they need, and they want to prevent mosquitoes in a larger way, they will get all the pesticide they could get, but they won't get educated about it. People think that malaria that is so danger for population. They will think that if they treat the mosquito in time, they will prevent death at that time. But they will get the knowledge that over time they will get more other disease. And the way of their thinking is that it's better to prevent a death now and just let it come eventually. Either way, we will die. So when death will come eventually and slowly, and it will come in a way of disease like cancer. And this is that disease that is not detected on time because the lack of screening as a preventing tool or other disease that will come eventually. So interesting points that I found that we can use instead of just use DDT to prevent mosquitoes and malaria is the primary prevention for malaria should be first get rid of mosquitoes. This can be done by preventing places that will get water stuck and the mosquito can overpopulate. Don't get bitten by mosquitoes. You can use bed nets. Those are great use during the night. Find a vaccine. Get better nutrition, health distribution, health system. I find that US got rid of malaria in 1930s by doing some things that are similar to the primary prevention for malaria. And US did draining and oily mosquitoes breeding areas, treating large population with cleanliness, screening installations in windows and doors, building dams to isolate mosquitoes, and gradually improving cycle of poverty. We know that malaria is present where poverty is present. We know that malaria has been eradicated in US and a lot of countries in Europe, but not in developing countries. And this is because the lack of nutrition, of health system, of better transportation or better home built. If you go to developing countries, you see that many houses are built just scrap of any type of material. There's no safe structure. So overall, it's not safe. You will get malaria and other disease easily when it's not, you're not living in a clean area or have good water or good ways to take showers, etc. So I hope you find this video good and you can see why DDT should be banned, and especially that if you want to prevent malaria, we should also find a way to break the cycle of poverty where it usually will get easily the malaria. Well, thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.